Hello and welcome along to part 16 of this Dark Souls guide and playthrough. Today we're going to take on the area boss. We're going to clear up a few wee things that we've got to take care of in Sen's Fortress. And who knows, we might make it to Anor Londo. So first of all we're going to visit an NPC called the Crestfallen Merchant. And to get to him you just follow this path. You can see that there's a broken pathway just over there. And what's interesting about that pathway, by the way, you have to run and jump to get over there. So just come along here, turn around, run, and then simply jump. If you get the timing wrong you'll fall down, and sometimes you can die, and sometimes you'll fall to a wee bit underneath. And down below there, it's interesting, there's a sniper crossbow. Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
What? Who are you? Another undead. I took on Sen's Fortress alone, but I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven.
By conceit, interesting.
You think you're different? That you can handle it? Yes, I remember that feeling. For I was the same. So, let me help you out. With your soul.
Was he the chosen undead at one point? Conceit suggests that maybe he thought he was chosen to carry out the legend that Oscar's told us about the person escaping or reaching Lordran, journeying to Anor Londo, etc, etc. He sells a lot of good items. It seems like he scavenges items from dead knights, dead soldiers, dead people that, you know, that plummet to their death or end up dying in Sen's Fortress. He goes around, scavenges all their gear and sells it, so you can pick up some of the best equipment from him. Balder gear, Berenike Tower Knight shield. He's got the Berenike armour set on, the black iron set. I'm not sure whether he's a knight of Berenike himself, or whether they just stole it and used it for his own purposes. He's also got the Katarina set, which is Siegmeyer's set, so you can get the spell in front. Anyway, I'll let him speak a wee bit.
There's nothing more to say. I'm finished. We're both on the brink, you see. End of story. You bloody fool.
So what's keeping him from going hollow?
Let me give you a nibble of advice. Don't even consider visiting Anor Londo.
That suggests he's been to Anor Londo.
For a century they've tried and failed. The Night King Rendell, Black Iron Tarkus, and even Logan himself. You won't stand a chance. You'll be eaten alive. But go along if you wish, if only to deepen your despair. So
Rendell is Night King Rendell's of Balder heritage. That's why you've got the Balder Knights in here. We also find Night King Rendell's Steel Ring of Resistance, the one that increases your defences. We found that earlier in Sen's Fortress. You've also got Logan of Vinheim, and Black Iron Tarkus, the Berenike Knight. I put the Slumbering Dragon crest ring on here thinking that I might be able to sneak up on this enemy below, but it's not possible because she's facing the entrance. It's one of these serpent mages. But you can see how sometimes you get the aura around your feet and other times you don't. It's quite strange. But yeah, I find the Crestfallen Merchant one of the most interesting characters in the game. Come down here, kill her. She's guarding a key, and it's the cage key. The cage key basically allows you to, it gives you a shortcut from the lower levels of Sen Fortress to the upper levels. So the first level we come to is the one with the swinging blades, and you've got the serpent and whatnot, and then the female serpent above you shooting lightning. Well, anyway, there's a cage that you can travel between there and up the upper levels of Sen's Fortress using that key. But yeah, I want to quickly say about the Crestfallen Merchant. It seems as if he's been to Anor Londo, and some suggest that the Knights of Berenike were on a mission to find a cure for the undead plague, and that maybe the Crestfallen Merchant, along with Black Iron Tarkus, actually made it to Anor Londo, realised that Anor Londo wasn't what it seemed, and came back here to warn people and dissuade them from going on the same journey. Maybe he can't go over this bridge. I mean, he's wearing heavy armour, so maybe he can't go over that jump. You've got the sniper crossbow, and I think what's happened there is you've had somebody up above sniping at the giant, and the giant's thrown a boulder and it's broken the path. So I was saying, The crestfallen merchant, and the reason why it suggests he's been to Anor Londo, we'll find that out in the next episode. There's a clue in Anor Londo that he's got knowledge that he wouldn't be able to get unless he'd been there, or unless somebody had come back from Anor Londo and told him about it. And it seems like selling all the items and wares that he's got is keeping him from hollowing out. It's the only thing maybe that's keeping him from hollowing out. I actually forget here how to equip Power Within. Like I said before at the start of this series, it's been a while since I played Dark Souls, and I forgot that you had to attune it. So basically you have to select it through the bonfire system. So sit at the bonfire, go to Attune Magic, and you can equip Power Within, but I'd forgotten how to do that. I actually wanted to use it in the boss fight here, but I'm not able to do so. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so also the other thing, the crestfallen merchant, you can see his body language. He's got his arms folded over, he's standing in a very resistant or defensive posture. He just seems like he's stuck to the spot. He seems like he's in fear, and I don't know, I think he's given up. He was on a quest of his own like us. Maybe he felt he was the chosen undead. He couldn't handle it, and yeah. The reason I switched to the halberd here was because I prefer a defensive weapon in tight situations like this. There's nothing further along at the end of that path. It seems to be there for no reason, which is quite strange. But yeah, it's interesting that he says he was driven by conceit, which makes, there you use the cage key. This is the thing that can transport you between the levels. Driven by conceit, as if he was maybe told by somebody that he was the chosen undead, and he realised at some point after seeing Black Iron Tarkus, Rendo, Boulder Knight King Rendo, and Logan of Vinheim failing to make it, or to fulfil their own quests, that he wasn't the one to do it himself. You can actually summon Black Knight Tarkus for the boss fight, and to do that, come along here. You have to be human, so you have to reverse your hollowing, and there should be a summon sign in here, and that will allow you to summon Black Iron Tarkus for the boss fight. I wouldn't suggest doing so though. It's one of the better boss fights in the game, in my opinion. But it's not really difficult. Although I do die to him the first time around here, and that was just because of carelessness. You won't see that death because there's no point in keeping it in. I'll explain it once we get to the boss room. So take out this giant first, because if you don't take this giant out, this is the one that's throwing the fire boulders at you. If you don't take this one out, this giant, he throws them down at you while you're actually fighting the boss, the Iron Golem, and you don't want that. So make sure you kill this guy. One of the problems is that he can actually, his fist can clip through the wall, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant to go up and decide eventually just to do so. But yeah, he can clip through the wall. And you'll see what I was talking about before, about these guys tiring out and hunching down on their into a kind of squat position after you get enough hits in against them, or it's more like when after they get tired from trying to hit you, they kind of go down into this kind of tantrum like pose. You'll see it in a second. Obviously these boulders he's thrown at you, there you go, that's it. He's had enough. It reminds me of like a baby or a child or something when they do that. And they sound kind of like, you know, dim. There's the Iron Golem waiting for us. Or he's actually not waiting for us, he's actually guarding the way to Anor Londo. If you look behind him you can see that there's an entrance. And it's been bricked up, but that is the way at one point through the mountain to Anor Londo. But yeah, those boulders have to be hollow obviously, because if they weren't, you know, they wouldn't be able to put the fire, whatever it is, the pyrotechnic stuff inside it. Anyway, come through here, this is Iron Golem. What to do is you want to get as close to the Iron Golem as possible, because he's got this energy attack. It's like, I don't know whether it's air or wind or something that he generates using these golem axe. You don't really want to lock on to this guy, you just want to kind of get behind him Be careful about going under his legs, he can actually grab you and throw you off the side. But you want to basically get behind him and smash into his calves. There you go, there's the energy thing, that's why you don't want to get away from him too far. It seems to be like a blade of wind. But yeah, you want to get behind him, hit into the back of his legs. Eventually he will stumble and fall over. And you can actually get him to fall over the edge of the path and fall down the side of the building. It's not a great start to this fight for me, but I'm a bit rusty, and he's one of the. I definitely think he's one of the harder bosses if all you've fought up until this point is Gaping Dragon and the Gargoyles and the Taurus Demon and whatnot. But he doesn't present a challenge when he's in this state. There you go, that's him falling over. You want as many stamina regen items as possible, so like a green blossom, the grass crest shield obviously helps, even both of these together. Power within, because you want a weapon that's fast and deals out high damage. That was the grab attack, that's where he tries to grab you and he's dead at this point. So we get the core of the Iron Golem. The core was in his chest, you could see that at one point if you looked up. And he was actually forged from iron and the bone of an everlasting dragon. Again, that is the pathway, original pathway to Anor Londo. And if you look to the left and right there, you could see that there was Batwing demons. That's a clue to what happens next. There you go, you can see the Batwing demons there behind us. Or an effigy of them. But here's the real thing. So it's interesting, every other demon in this game who seems to serve the Witch of Izalith, every other demon in this game is impeding your journey through Lordran. So you've got the Taurus Demon and Taurus Demon and Capra Demon and other demons that we've encountered, and they're basically seem to be stopping you from going forward. So the Taurus Demon is stopping you from getting to the first spell of awakening, the Capra Demons. But yeah, this is one of the most beautiful introductions to an area I've ever seen in any game. It's absolutely stunning, and the music as well. You can see that we've got one of the Batwing Demon stays around. Sticks around. You can actually go back to Sen's Fortress if you talk to him. You don't actually say anything, I don't think, but you can. It's a way back to Anor to Sen's Fortress at this point if you want to go back the way. It's just such a beautiful area. This is the City of the Gods. So Lord Gwyn once resided here, as did his children, Guinevere and Gwendolyn and so on, and one unnamed child, and also the royal servants. Royal Sentinels. This is one of the Royal Sentinels here. You don't have to engage this one in a fight, you can actually just walk past him and he won't aggro. But yeah, the Batwing Demons, just going back to them for a wee second, we'll come back and deal with these guys in the next episode, because there's a lot of things to do in Anor Londo and there's a lot of things to talk about with respect to the lore of Anor Londo. Beautiful sunlight here, stunning architecture. We'll actually meet a Firekeeper down here. This is wait a minute, I've got her name written down here. Darkmoon Knightess, or Darkmoon Knightess. We'll discuss more about that in the next episode. But let's talk to her.
Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo.
So she knows who we are.
If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you.
It's not that she knows us, it's just that anybody that makes it from Sen's Fortress to here is the chosen undead, necessarily.
Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? A gatekeeper and a guide. That is my calling.
So she acts as she's a herald archetype.
Bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet.
So it's interesting that she says they should never meet.
You require rest. Now is the time. That is, after all, what the bonfire is for.
She's well hidden, she hides her face, and there seems to be a guilt associated with the Firekeeper's responsibility. We've got the other Firekeeper who says her tongue's impure, she can't speak, she doesn't speak, and this one here as well seems to have a guilty kind of aura about her. But anyway, we're in Anor Londo now. If you've got the smithing boxes, upgrade your weapons and sword, shields, armour and whatnot. Upgrade your character stats, focus on endurance, strength, dexterity and health. And yeah, in the next episode we'll go through Anor Londo, one of the best areas in the game, if not the best area in the game. And it's a challenging area, so I hope this episode helped.